Hi, my name is Frank Mitloehner. I'm a professor and air quality specialist at the Department of Animal Science at UC Davis. And I'm here in Nebraska to talk at the Beef Methane Conference about facts and fiction around livestock's contribution to greenhouse gases and climate change. It's a big topic, and a topic that the media picks up on a lot, and a topic that in the past the beef industry was not too happy about responding to. But I think the time has come to make a change to really engage in the discussion, because we now live in a time where more and more people, consumers of your products, want to know where their food comes from and how it's produced. And there's societal concern as to the environmental footprint of livestock production. And so you now see advertisement like the one on this slide here, comparing, let's say, automobiles to livestock, saying our car is cleaner than a head of livestock. And you might think that's funny. It's really not funny, and it's very damaging to your industry. So there are some folks who believe that the livestock sector is a greater contributor to greenhouse gases than the entire transportation sector. There are some numbers out there claiming livestock contributes to 18% of all greenhouse gases, leading to climate change. Other numbers are even more extreme, saying no, it's not 18, it's 51% of all greenhouse gases globally that come from livestock. Now, to measure these impacts of livestock on greenhouse gases and on other pollutants is my profession. And I can tell you, livestock's contribution to climate change, particularly here in the United States, is far from 18 or 51%. In fact, I totally agree with the Environmental Protection Agency, who states that the entire livestock sector, and that's all livestock species plus feed, contribute to a total of 4.2%. And so the beef sector is around 2% of the total. So that's important, and these are not just numbers, these are important numbers for you to know. These are not just my numbers, as I said, but this is the official emission inventory in the United States. So why does anyone care about this discussion? Well, we are facing a situation where we have a drastically growing human population on this planet. When I was a little boy, and you see it on this slide here, we had 3 billion people in the world. Today, and I'm in my 40s, today we have 7 billion people, and when I'm an old man, we will have 9.5 billion people in the world. In other words, throughout our lifetime, human population on this planet will have tripled. And that really brings into question how we produce food for these future generations. If you look at this slide here, you see the Environmental Protection Agency's prediction as to who contributes how much greenhouse gases. And again, this large brown-orange area is the use of fossil fuel in general. The dark area right above it is the contribution of agriculture overall on greenhouse gases. This slide here is a slide that was put together by the United Nations FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization. It shows the different regions in the world and the carbon footprint of dairy production. Sorry, I don't have it available for beef yet, but for dairy production. And you will see that North America is all the way to the left with the lowest carbon footprint. And the reason why it's the lowest carbon footprint is because of what we feed, of how we treat sick animals and prevent disease, of how we have learned to use advanced genetics and reproductive techniques. This combined set of instruments has allowed us to shrink herd size. And by shrinking herd sizes, it has brought us to a place where we now have the lowest, not the highest, the lowest carbon footprint of livestock production. So today, many people throughout the world will say that production intensity and emission intensity are inversely related. What that means is when production per animal goes up, then emissions per animal go down. And that's a message that I think is a very important one to communicate, one that our citizens in this country and throughout the world don't really know, but yet need to know. They understand that when they drive a car. They don't understand that when they eat a steak or consume dairy products or other livestock commodities.